It's like 6 million ways to die, skyscraper diver sign out, I die for my pride. Ain't no disguise that can hide, my mind is locked in a ride at high tide. At 6% hate, I spew for myself, 24% faith in futures I lied. The people that's there, I'm scared of myself, I pray for my sins, repent for my threats. I gave all I had and then came up short, the ladder could reach a noose all I tied. Abuse all I hide inside of my mind, and climb into the tunnel, skies is my cries. The garden is dead, the flowers are all dead, you tell me what's next, I guided my light. Shared on my plight, despairs in my life, the wrongs you would right, you still wanna fight. Cantankerous foes, Fantano exposes the door to my soul. I hold my emotions in high regard, but most of them rarely could bloom their rose. From places of darkness and panic, the topic is spanning a decade or two. Where to start? I'm an addict, I can't get enough of attention, I'm busy just playing my part. I find myself drifting without intervention, I look in the mirror and see that I'm lost. The person looks back and their eyes are so empty, I wonder is seeing too hard under gloss. The eyes looking through me, I wonder if they were presuming that I wouldn't leave them. I thought, is this what it feels like to be underwater? My lungs are just aching, I bubble and froth. I come into troublesome spots on my own invitation, then plead to get out of them all. I never committed to any decision, I'm flaky, I'm scared of just missing my mark. The chrome isn't polished, the smudges are seen as a light on the vehicle, death of a dream. When I wake up at 3 drenched sweat and I feel like someone's in the corner just staring at me. Ain't got a choice when I make my decisions, they always just focused on martyring me. It's harder to see when I'm part of the problem is that they just wanna be free. The freedom may come with the baggage of help when the helpful are begging for more guarantees. We don't understand what the fuck we've been chasing and don't understand where the fuck we should be. Should I be involved with controlling my life, or is life just a sentence we order and read? Is there such a thing as relaxing behavior, or is that just a myth that we already breathe? I asked for some guidance and lost all respect for the people that's meant to be taller than me. They told me to stop being selfish and said that the questions were just narcissistic of me.
Welcome everyone to the grand opening of the garden. As some of you may know, my name is Jay, and I'm the founder, owner, and caretaker of this establishment. And the premises behind me are some of the finest specimens of foliage you'll see in this part of the world, so I welcome you to take a nice, long look around. Feel free to hold on to any of the flowers that you feel connected to, and place them in your basket for checkout. I believe that the value of a flower goes beyond the surface, so those of you so inclined may wish to spend some time learning more about the flowers, because you never know what you'll find under the surface.
Some would call an addict a person who's lost a habit. If the definition fits, then I really should start to panic. The problem is spanning decades, a century might establish the demons that I'd be fighting are hidden inside the grass. Last afternoon my shoes ran a survey and managed to figure out from my clothes that I'm sleeping inside my class. As I woke up they demanded some reparations for having to lay complacent and watch as I wasted my last chance to enjoy myself. I lack a sense of preservation, I'll destroy myself. I never got the presentation to anoint myself as any better than the worst. I was trapped sitting in a chair but feeling like a hearse. If my funeral is boring then I am showing up. I can't help the deprecation, it just helps with throwing up. Different problems with the world around me. I don't think projection covers half the stupid shit that causes me to grow enough. Detrimental to my health, it's systemic in a sense. In a sense it's just a lie that sits across me past the fence. What does happiness entail? What is manifesting stress? What is causing all these thoughts that seem to suck away my breath? I don't wanna die alone if I ever die. Lack of living full of fear, I might live a lie. Never wanna go away, never say goodbye. My dialect is enamored with simple concepts, caught dead thinking maybe I should wash in. As much as I idealize a simple exit, it just isn't in my character to give up in the present. There's a scarcity of speech and recognition of our loss. It's immense to be with greed, married how you overcome consequences of the shit you didn't think to do before. Never realize you got caught up and now you're bored. Some call persistence a gift, but it's a curse. Whereas some would get to quit, my wheels are spinning in reverse. River doesn't stop for me, and though there's progress, I'm often conflicted about whether or not I'm obnoxious. Lost in thought, often caught in pockets of poverty. I'm in a debt to sleep. One day I lost about an hour of my day, staring off at the wall, and never realized that maybe it was time to make a call. Dial tones greet me, never turn the other cheek. Therapy isn't cheap, some burn the other leaf. Others find their therapy in iron weights and clanging bars. I would dabble in these habits if I wasn't scared of God. Metaphorically, of course, in actuality, it's mom. Study guides and notebooks, only thing keeping me calm. One day I might snap and return to burn them all, or else I'll be the person that finished scaling the walls. I don't wanna die alone if I ever die. Lack of living full of fear, I might live a lie. Never wanna go away, never say goodbye. I don't wanna die alone if I ever die. Lack of living full of fear, I might live a lie. Never wanna go away, never say goodbye.
Dahlias wilting in the summer breeze to run away from me. Dahlias, flowers grow hopelessly, chase away my dreams. Dahlias wilting in the summer breeze to run away from me. Dahlias, flowers grow hopelessly, chase away my dreams.
My mother's garden was plentiful and so grounded. Deposits of colored flowers, bumblebees constant surrounding. It was an outlet for her to let off all of her frustration and anger inside her day. It would thrive in her administration, and then by simple proxy she dragged me out to go help. I would water all of the flowers and grab things from off the shelf. My green thumb wasn't developed, nail polish was never me, but I went along with her hobby to see if I could appease the gnawing inside my stomach that said that I wasn't shit. And so I grabbed a tiny shovel and buried my thoughts. I dig and dig and dig in the sun. My troubles had just begun. A couple of mishaps, a couple of things for fun. Although never losing my touch, I felt deeply it was enough. I start drifting from all my friends, it's unseemly for me to run, but the garden is always there, and I start going out for fun, and the shovel isn't so heavy, maybe I've just begun.
Dahlias wilting in the summer breeze to run away from me. Dahlias, flowers grow hopelessly, chase away my dreams. Dahlias wilting in the summer breeze to run away from me. Dahlias, flowers grow hopelessly, chase away my dreams.
Somebody asked me on the phone if I felt good. Said I don't know, said I was cool for calling home. They needed space, indeed it's gone. I washed some dirt off of my hands. My body bag was getting cold. My gimmick's getting worn out, at least that's what I'm always told. See, I'm a novelty, an accessory friend. I'm simply groveling, attention seeking, mandatory threats. I'm barely keeping shit together. I'm fraying from the seams. I look distressed and people worry, joke and say it's in my genes. I'm just a jester, dancing in a court of fools. I live and breathe for validation, only useful as a tool. I tell my people if they need me, they just need to point and shoot, and I'll be chomping at the bit to demonstrate some of my use. I guess the pressure to be someone else or everyone is rough. I risk a lecture every time I'm stressed. My mask just ain't enough. People offended when I'm being down like they the victims now. I'm amending all my broken vows, can't be consistent. How am I supposed to hold this shit together? I'm just breaking down around me. I see fallen trees that look like they're up from the ground, but no one sees a problem. Everything is peachy with the crowd. Summer's meant to be relaxing, but it just stresses me out, cause all the garden work is useless with the flowers slowly dying and the grass is slowly drying out. I'm crying in a drought. After 7 months it starts again, the rebirth of my doubts, and then the cycle spins another turn. That's what it's about.
Dahlias wilting in the summer breeze. Dahlias, flowers grow hopelessly. Dahlias wilting in the summer breeze. Dahlias, flowers grow hopelessly. Dahlias wilting in the summer breeze to run away from me. Dahlias, flowers grow hopelessly, chase away my dreams. Dahlias wilting in the summer breeze to run away from me. Dahlias chase away my dreams.
It started one summer night, young butterfly, still cocooned in his other life. Couldn't understand the confusion, was such a fright when he started hopping into music. His muse was his room, cruised through YouTube looking for his next hobby. When he stumbled on a beat video, he tried to copy what the man was doing, failed and got annoyed, but kept pursuing what he thought he could improve upon. The joys of it was freedom, he could make whatever sound he so desired, never stressed about mistakes, he was just constantly inspired. Problem is that the technicality was simply tired, had to take some time to ask for help and stoke creative fire. Soon enough he had a couple beats and ways to go about his dreams. He just wanted transparency, he really wanted to be seen and heard for what he meant to say, not extra instrumental play. He wanted recognition, so he poured himself into the break.
It started slow but soon quick, he never thought it'd be this way, but then he started playing songs and people said that sounds okay, no pressure. Logic said that he was free to work and kind of play. He started thinking maybe there's a future in this channel. Hey!
Garden watered, I never falter in steps. I decapitated the beat, busy rapping, making the checks. Is he captive waving a thread, or is Captain manning the deck? Does he peddle his golden teeth, or try selling you gold text?
Is he scamming for food to eat, or exaggerating a threat? Is imagination a weakness, or aggravation of sin?
His emasculation of hymns and the absolution of kin isn't masking haters. You win if he laughs and raises his neck. He bears it all for the world in an effort to make his mark. He knows the competition's stiff, but the level difference is stark. He's composing the script that future listeners will try to copy, and he did it by himself. That's one hell of a hobby. Inspiration for the viewers, lest they're all quiet consumers. English teachers' call to action, written by unstable zoomers. Groomed by YouTube and the internet, his hits are turning interwebs right into systematic checks for talent, enigmatic death. You know, the problem is whenever I start trying something new like this, I get a bunch of people coming out of the woodwork on my meat, trying to give me advice, trying to critique me, telling me, oh, you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do that. You know, when I ask for help, I'm more than happy to receive it. The problem is I didn't ask. You know, I'm just sitting here trying to do me, trying to have fun, make something that I kind of like, but then I get a bunch of people coming out talking about, oh, you shouldn't do this, so stick to what you're doing. Well, fuck you, I'll do what I want. You know, I'll talk about it. I'm tired. I can tell you're too committed to being someone who's different. Position yourself as cultured, but really you're just a victim of pressure to feel better about your self-image. The problem is that you're giving a lot of time and attention to people who don't matter. It's easy to hear the chatter, the voices are always present, the choruses only matter, emotions are running rampant. It's easy to see that as a perspective and shit, exaggerate curses and shit, elaborate extravagance and culture. Clutch your hand and you're a vulture, leave her back and then they demonize. How could you just desert her? It's a cycle. If you're chasing it, you're needy. If you don't, they'll say you're greedy of attention, being different for pretenders, centered on yourself, your calm is death and on your second step. You left your mark, they'll understate it, or they'll say you needed help. You better pray to me instead and hope the vacancy is left inside the memories collected. Hope you find it in yourself. Compromising compositions, cop a feel of cropping pictures, often imitated, lost a lot of rhythm in the system. Sister told me that the song was corny, I don't wanna listen, but I put that shit on blast because you see from my position it was honest and uplifting, it was soaring, it was great. It was God's giving grace that had put me in this space. Touched down for a minute, had a conversation, saved myself from trouble when I realized I don't care what they say. Not a positive sentiment, I'll be honest. See, I'm buried in sediment, dozen layers of gravel and sand bury my pen in my pad. Barely a character can carry the weight of my hand. Scary, I'm laying with plans laid in the stated demands, made to be gracious and that hates to be taken a laugh. Gotta be conscious of them, often mistaken my fangs. Poisonous competition, I'm taking a snake in my grass. Bitch.
So, let me guess. You brought me out here to tell me your sister's not as annoying as I make her out to be?
Nah, she's pretty much a pain.
Introspection in my disposition. Only reason I'm in this position, sipping Perrier, discussing this condition. I'm disgusted with the system. Rhythm rules reality, and some would call a tragedy the state of my submission to the ever-growing cult of music majors and arrangers. Composition competitions causing cages, crashing cases, smashing faces taking place inside perennial displays of presidential politics and problem-solving pause delays. Cause-effect is such a funny thing I didn't understand. I made a couple beats that sounded good. What happened to the time? Now I'm mic'd up staring at a doll, my jaw's on the line, and I'm expressing special thoughts in certain mediums of rhyme. Curtains crash when earth and hands come up to grab the burning lamps and use the fire to illuminate the suns in certain lands. Gotta hand it to me, this production handled in advance the scary notion of nobody bearing fruit from any plans. Pretty good, right?
It was alright.
Alright, alright, fine, you tweet, I'll give you something better. Look, it's big Big bears like Ursa Major were rooting for someone greater to take my place in the album, a better affair. The stages are never meant to be frozen, the drama like Anastasia. I'm racing up out of bed in the mornings, I'm in a craze to appease my latest craving for rhythm. Inside my cage I'm a demon standing the dotted line with my blood, and I'm chasing a reckless ideal for placing a bounty on top of faces. Another verse for the masses to send you into a craze. It's a simple matter of taste, see I'm never lacking in grace. Picture me in half a decade, maybe reading about me in pages of papers. I hope they're good, but don't worry about what they say. I'm obsessively writing songs, I don't have time to flip pages.
Sure, that was better.
He writes remedies, boxing with the melody. Vox be kicking ahead of me, the toxic thing is yet to be. They tell me that the music is repeating itself endlessly. I don't respond, but understand the critics aren't dead to me. They second guessing and double checking, impressing these tools with fancy words and a couple headings to test to be used. I feel invincible, the bouquet just got delivered, and now I'll take some time to catch my breath and nurse my liver. I punch above my weight in terms of rep, condensing universes into songs and bringing hearses back to check. I know the cursive is confusing, don't assume I'm lacking depth. Just play the song with headphones on, I'm well deserving of my rest. And if you say that I was rambling or stumbling along, I'd like to take the time to tell you that you aren't completely wrong. See, it's hard completing songs when your future's pulling near. Your destiny is on the precipice, I'm cracking the veneers. This album was a year or so in the making, and I just want to thank everyone who helped make it a possibility. Vox, Mo, Big Bear, Cookie, everyone who helped support me and convinced me to go through with this. Thank you so very much.